Hello and welcome back. My name is Menke, and today we're going to be taking a look at round one in the AFL. All the games wrapped up for the week, so we're going to do a little bit of a recap here. I did actually stream 7 of the 9 games, so thank you to everybody who tuned into the streams over those 2 days. It was a lot of fun, and I watched a ton of footy, so we're off to a heck of a start as far as it goes for me watching some footy this year. And I wanted to get a little bit more in depth when I do a little bit more of these breakdowns, at least as much as I can as an American and somebody who's kind of new to the AFL. So the first 2 games were actually the 2 games that I did not catch. It was the Carlton Blues versus the Richmond Tigers, and also the Collingwood Magpies versus the Western Bulldogs. So I did not catch those games. I listened to a bit of it on the radio. But the rest of them I got, so I have a little bit more in depth on those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the ears on. I'm going to watch a little bit of the highlights from the first 2 games. We can chat about it a bit, and then I'm going to kind of break down the rest of the games that I watched and kind of my thoughts. So let's get into it. All right, so I'll start off with the opening game of round 1. We got the Carlton Blues versus the Richmond Tigers, and let's take a look at how the Tigers, the defending grand champs, do against the Carlton Blues. Let's go.
Side 50 sits a high one up. Casbolt!
Okay, nice mark by Carlton.
Boys, for the first goal of the game and the season. Bang!
All right, first goal of the season by Carlton. First points by Richmond. All right, nice movement. It looks like Carlton is getting off to kind of a good start here. They got the momentum.
Just a little bit too cute. Lambert. Graham. Look out.
Okay, here comes Tigers.
You cannot turn the footy over there, and it's arts. Tigers in the air. Paddy Dow outside of the boot.
All right, nice job. So what it looks like here, though, real quick, is that looks like the Tigers actually kicked a couple of goals between then. So they're making a comeback and making a kind of a contested game here. All right, now we're in the second quarter, so let's just kind of see how the momentum is changing between these 2 teams. Still neck and neck, but Carlton pulls away. All right, nice movement. That's some solid play for sure. Very nice. All right, so now we're in the third quarter, and still about tied up, and let's just take a look at if there's any breaks yet in the third quarter here as far as who's taking the lead. Oh.
Lucky, come. Okay, I've reported him for striking. Okay, just wait. 20 Carlton.
Oh, he elbowed him. Reported him for striking.
Plowman runs a bit of an arc. Oh, that's nice. They are coming.
There we go. All right, so the Blues are starting to pull away a little bit, but that's what we've seen every quarter so far. It's been really close.
Goes in search of revolt. Well done.
What a mark. Nice mark.
It's got to work back. It's going to. That's a very nice set shot.
Very good. Again, back and forth. All right, so here we are the fourth quarter, and it looks like the Tigers are up by about 9 points now. So maybe they're starting to pull away here. Let's take a look.
Martin in really good shape. They are the best at hurting you from turnover, the Tigers.
Oh, rough.
All day long.
This might be it. This might be the breakaway. Yeah, all right, now we got 16-point lead.
Footy got to stand under this, and he does. McDonald too far out to score. He does reel and go top of the square. Tell you what.
Too far out to score, huh?
If you're Oscar McDonald.
Too far out to score, huh? All right, here we're a little bit later now. It's 83 to 67. So again, the Tigers starting to pull away a little bit more. And as we move into the ends of the fourth quarter, it's almost even again, which is kind of insane. So 85-80. Let's take a look at it from here.
Brown, Doherty under real pressure. Arts got it. Richmond goal. Lead by 11.
Nice. right, here, this is where I think the breakaway happens. 12 points, big deflect, Tigers turnover. Dusty's coming up with it. Oh, he's thinking about it. Goes for the hand pass. Very nice. The dangers of Dusty. All right, from there, it looks like the Tigers go on to win against the Blues, 105-80. After that, you know, what was it, a 2 or 3 goal lead there? They just kind of broke away, and I feel like Carlton was probably just openly trying to take as many chances as possible and opening up their defense a little bit too much. But I think it was kind of a good game between both of them. The Tigers still looking fantastic. They looked great last year. Obviously, they won the grand final. They're looking great here in this opening round. But I wouldn't say, you know, Carlton played bad. I mean, at least from these highlights. Again, I didn't really watch the game, unfortunately. But it looks like they were playing well. It was a very tightly contested game up until the end of that fourth quarter. So let's take a look at the Bulldogs versus the Magpies here in the second matchup in the first round, that second game that I did not catch. So let's see how this one goes.
Looking good early. Here's Hunter, wrong footer on the left. Straighten up here.
Oh, there's open space. All right, so the Doggies on the board first.
Duray dumps it out into some open space. Here we go. Listen to the boos and the cheers in equal measure. Jams it down the throat of Norton. Wonderful first touch from Jerome.
Just running around. Nobody's defending him.
Always what he does best, Aaron Norton. But he steers that through.
Wow,
Good
very nice.
start, Dogs.
All right, 12-zip. So right after the first quarter here, we already have the Doggies with the first 2 goals. Later on, as we get to the start of the second quarter, we see that the Pies managed to get a goal and a couple behinds. However, the Dogs are still off to a fantastic start.
Pendlebury. That's holding the ball.
Holding the ball.
This will make it a better start. It's coming back. First goal, second turn.
Again, Doggies putting up the numbers.
Got a good ball here. Little right foot banana. Sends it out wide to Elliott. Well done by Duray.
Can the Pies put up a goal?
Got rid of it. Keeps it alive. Mark will be paid here to Elliott. Elliott backs himself. That's as straight as they come.
All right, so the Pies still putting up some goals, making it a game at least. Let's take a look at more towards the end of the second quarter here, going into the half.
Square, anyone in the air, Maynard's there, over the back it comes.
Oh, nice kick. Nice kick.
3 goal to 2 second quarter in favour of the Dogs.
All right, the Dogs have almost doubled the score up now. 18 seconds left. What's the score going into halftime?
Intercept by Adams to Pendlebury. There's plenty of time. Draws. Crisp is a long kick. This is really important. And Crisp kicks a big-time goal.
All right, so that's really important for Collingwood. They go into the half, kicking a goal, making sure that the score doesn't get doubled up on them. And it's an 11-point game. It's a 2-score game. So I think that's pretty important there that the Pies got that goal there. So let's take a look at towards the end of the third quarter and kind of see where the momentum is going in this game. All right, just switched from 8 minutes to 3 minutes, and the Dogs put up numbers. 54-37, the end of the third.
Dogs are out everywhere here at the moment. An opportunity as they go forward. Long ball by Bruce. English is the tall. And Marks.
62-38. Pies are definitely struggling in this one, it seems like. Oh, wow, what a mark.
Brown, I should say. Long one for Elliott.
Oh, Pies come up with it.
Has a bounce. They should go from here. Elliott, there it is.
Nice, nice. All right, I haven't seen too much of Coxie so far. I did listen to this game a bit on the radio, and it sounded like he was playing decent, pretty well. He missed a few marks, it sounded like, but I haven't seen too much in this highlights yet of him. Let's take a look more towards the end of the fourth and kind of see if the Pies try to make a little bit of comeback or if they just completely fall apart.
Extremely quiet.
All right, so 22-point game.
Back inside and spills to Degoe. Degoe sticks it high for Cox.
All right, there we go. I just got done talking about Coxie. There he is taking a big mark. Attaboy. The Pies couldn't quite pull it off. They did actually make a bit of a comeback here, though, from where the score was. Just not enough time. Time was not on their side. They couldn't get it done quick enough. I'm assuming the Bulldogs kind of knew that, how they were playing, and played it a little bit safe. Overall, I think it was a good game for the Dogs. A little bit unfortunate for the Pies, but again, there's a lot of season left to come. So let's talk about some of the other games, shall we? All right, Dockers versus Demons. This game was pretty straightforward. Again, if you haven't checked out the live streams, you want to watch them again, go check them out. We did watch this game. It was pretty much all Demons the whole game. It wasn't really like a big blowout or much of an upset. The Dockers just didn't show up to play as hard as the Demons in that game, or maybe the Demons are just a better team. But it was pretty much the Demons all game. They held out the lead for most of the game, and the final score 80-58. Yeah, so we'll have to see how the Dockers do going forward. I have heard a lot of people say that, you know, they might be better this year, but again, round one, it's kind of tough to say, but that game, definitely all Demons. Let's move on next to the Adelaide Crows versus the Geelong Cats. This was kind of a surprising one, actually, given that the Crows took last place last year and the Cats were contending grand final champions. So Crows showed up to play. It was pretty amazing, actually. It was a really good game to watch. For the first half, really, it was all Crows, just putting up points, and the Cats really weren't anywhere to be found. They weren't really doing much at all. When I was watching the game, a lot of my chat was saying, you know, just wait till the end later in the game. The Cats are always, you know, they'll show up to play later. You know, they're gonna have more gas in the tank, things like that. So it was interesting. But what happened is the Crows just put up too big of numbers, and the Cats did actually make a little bit of a comeback late in the game, as far as making up their differential, but it just wasn't enough. And the score actually was surprisingly close. It was 103-91 for the Crows, so only a 12-point game, a 2-score game, and there were points where the Crows were definitely ahead, not only in points, but just in momentum and in energy as far as the game went. So a very good game to watch, a very interesting game to watch. I was a little bummed because there's a few of these that were a little surprising for me, and I did kind of mess up my tipping comp. But we're going to get into the next game, which is the Bombers versus the Hawks. This game, my friends, came down to the wire. It was epic. This was a hard game to pick on who I thought was going to win. I ended up, you know, thinking the Demons were going to go for it. I don't know too much about Hawthorn, but it was a very, very good game. The Hawks pretty much showed up to play. From what I remember, I watched a lot of footy, but it was the Hawks kind of having most of that momentum. The Bombers did kind of come back right at the end there. The score was a little bit more for the Hawks at the end, but I was bummed because this is another game that messed up my tipping comp. They lost by 1 point, 91-92 for the Hawks. So all you Hawks fans got to be giddy as all hell, loving this because you guys got the win. And yeah, Bombers fans, I'm sorry guys, it was rough. We had a few Bombers fans in chat, and you guys, I know it was rough. So close game, but those games are super fun to watch, super fun for me to watch, you know, as more of an outsider learning about the game and getting more into it. It definitely makes for a lot of fun viewing. Next game, we have the Brisbane Lions versus the Sydney Swans. This one was another one that was kind of an upset, kind of a surprising game. I don't know much about the Swans, but my kind of feel of them from the little bit I watched last year towards the end of the season was that they weren't that great of a team. And I knew a little bit about the Lions that they're a decent team. They're pretty good. The Swans came to play. Let's just say that. The Swans came to play. This was a high-scoring game compared to the rest of the games that we've been kind of seeing this week. And the Swans were putting up goals left and right. It was mostly all Swans for a lot of the game as far as the momentum and the energy went. But 94-125, Swans scoring 125 points. They scored the most points out of any team this week, the Sydney Swans, and they beat the Brisbane Lions. A lot of people were not expecting this to happen. I think the odds or something were like super heavily favored for the Lions, and a lot of Swans fans, or a few Swans fans that I know here in the community, were ecstatic about it. So a lot of happy Swans out there. So good on you. You got a huge win right off the bat in round one, so that's got to make you guys feel good. You're going to keep the momentum up going forward, so we'll have to see how the Swans do the rest of the year, if they can keep up this kind of play against better teams. So next we got North Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. And yeah, this was a good game if you're a Port fan. This was one that I was kind of thinking Port would win. The Roos didn't really show up to play. It was kind of a one-sided game, much like the Demons in the Fremantle game, but a little bit more so, I'd say. Port, great team, super fast team. I really am impressed by how they played the game, especially right off the bat. You saw when everybody was like full of energy and everything, and nobody was tired. They're a very quick moving team. They can move the ball from defense to offense in just a matter of seconds. They can move it from left to right of the oval in just a matter of seconds, find the open space, and they do a lot of these very short kicks and short passes to really just speed everything up and find open space. It was really impressive to watch. Definitely enjoyed watching Port play against North Melbourne. Not sure how that kind of strategy or if that type of play works as well against other better teams, but it definitely seems kind of like a staple of Port Adelaide, that fast movement, fast paced play, and it definitely paid off. They won 117-65 over North Melbourne, the second highest score of the round. So a very good play by Port. And then finally, we have, second to last, we have GWS over St. Kilda. GWS playing St. Kilda. St. Kilda ended up getting the win in this. This was a one that I had a hard time deciding who I thought was going to win. It was kind of 50-50 for me. Don't know a whole lot about both teams. I feel like GWS is the better of the two expansion teams over Gold Coast. At least historically, that's what I've kind of seen. I know a lot of people were kind of big on Gold Coast this year as opposed to GWS, but the GWS was playing the Saints, and it was a good game. It was a good game. Both teams, it was really hard to see who was going to kind of win. Both teams had their moments, a lot of momentum shifts back and forth, and St. Kilda ended up coming out with the win. It was a 8-point game, so very close game, and St. Kilda got the win 86-78 over GWS. So big win for all you Saints fans out there. Finally, we got the Big Birds playing against the Big Suns, Gold Coast versus the West Coast Eagles. So a lot of West Coast Eagles fans. I got a West Coast flag here. I got the Premiership West Coast shirt that was sent to me. So a lot of cool West Coast stuff. I like the song; it's fun, and I was definitely going for the West Coast in this one, just because I know a lot more about them. Just because I've watched more of their games last year than Gold Coast, and I feel like they're the better team. Most of you guys probably feel like they're the better team, and this week they proved that they're the better team by winning over Gold Coast Suns 83-58. So huge game for the Big Birds. It was a lot closer, I would say, than maybe people expected watching the game. Gold Coast did play pretty well in moments. Yeah, they just couldn't keep up with the Big Birds for the whole duration of the game. So definitely a good game. It was the final game of the week, and it was a good one. It was cool to see the Big Birds play. So if you guys are interested in seeing my tipping, like what I tipped for this last week, I will be doing a tipping video coming out in just a day or two here, and then we'll also be doing my tips on that video for the next week for round 2. If you're interested in joining the tipping comp, I will link the link in the description. It's an open public tipping comp. I think we have like 95 people in there as of now. You're around late if you join now, but hey, if you could still play. I'm doing crap. I only got like 3 tips this week or something like that. I don't know what it was. It was pretty rough. So still a chance if you want to get in. Definitely check it out. If you like this video though, make sure you smash that like button, the subscribe button, and that bell notification. It's a little bit different. I'm just chatting a lot about some footy. So if you like that, hit that like button. Again, hope you guys are having a fantastic one. Thank you guys so much for being here. The community has been great. If you want to join the Discord, links in the description. Say hi to me in there and everybody else. But yeah, keep an eye out for future live streams. Peace, love. We'll see you later. Bye.